What is up, you beautiful happy elsers out there? Cary Jack here, and I got something for you, and that is a big word of caution. Stop letting your tech use you. Rather, use it. And you have to use it by creating tech barriers in order to avoid burnout. See, a lot of people are getting used and abused by their tech, by their cell phones, their laptops, their TVs, and their Bluetooth headphones, and everything in between, right? But in this episode, I want to share with you how you can actually use your tech and not let it use you any longer. How you can create barriers and boundaries with your technological devices. Because here's the thing. Unfortunately, our modern day world is just so inundated with technology. Like, it's everywhere. It's a part of my business. It's a part of my life. But when I mitigate my EMF exposure, my electromagnetic frequency exposure, and the amount that I'm on my devices, my happiness skyrockets. And yours will too, I'm telling you. So I want to get into some tactical points. And I actually write about this in my book, The Happy Hustle, 10 Alignments to Avoid Burnout and Achieve Blissful Balance. But let me tell you, this is really one of those chapters that no one, wants to unplug digitally per se. It's hard for us to get rid of the shackles from our devices, but it is so necessary. So I want to read to you a couple things about technology that really have made a big difference in my life and how to mitigate my exposure. So we have to talk about EMFs first and foremost. And these are electromagnetic frequencies that our devices emit and the dopamine dumping that comes from using them. Okay, so these EMFs are around us everywhere and they're affecting our health, especially now with 5G, all over the place. Our smartphones, our computers, our Wi-Fi, our routers, our TVs, our tablets, our smartwatches, microwaves, electric cars, everything. These emit these EMFs. And really, anything that can connect to the internet could potentially be negatively affecting your health and your happiness. So in order to mitigate your exposure, you must be deliberate with how you use these items, okay? And I recommend at a minimum unplugging your Wi-Fi at night, turning off all your devices, or at least putting them on airplane mode when you're not using them, and spending time each and every day digitally detoxing, okay? As I mentioned, what I like to do is actually do a digital detox on Sundays where I do no tech, no streaming shows, no devices, and I just do a full recharge. I can journal, I can practice gratitude, get outside, but this is one of those things that makes such a better week when you have that time off from tech. Okay, and I'm not perfect. I don't do it every Sunday, but I'd like to, right? Now, there's one other thing that I really wanted to mention is, with social media, especially on your brain, like every time you get a notification, your brain sends a chemical messenger called a dopamine, which is a dopamine along a reward pathway that makes you feel good. And dopamine is associated with activities like sex, food, exercise, love, gambling, and now social media. So it is actually a problem that when your brain is releasing this dopamine due to the social media, it's weakening your brain's ability to concentrate and simultaneously causing you to become addicted, that dopamine rush, to your devices and to social media. And we're outgunned here. The social media programmers and developers and coders at these big, app platforms, well, they are just scientifically designing their products and their services to give us these dopamine rushes to keep us on the app as long as possible. So we have to be disciplined, we have to be strong, and we have to create those tech barriers. That is why you have that urge to check your phone and oh, did I get a notification or a device or a call or a text? But you have to resist the urge, to check your devices and actually unplug and use tech wisely and don't let it use you. Okay, and I want to talk about barriers specifically, right? Specifically setting barriers. There's two barriers that if you take nothing else away from right now this message, if you just do these two barriers, you will be so much better off. Okay, and it's a 60-minute morning barrier. Even start with 30 minutes. If you feel 60 minutes is too much, start with 30-minute morning barrier, okay? Where you do not touch your phone. The first thing you do when you wake up, oftentimes, is touch your phone, look at your devices, check your media, check your email. Stop doing that, okay? you got to have just a barrier where you do not check your devices for the first 30 minutes. Okay, because this is a very important time when you're getting out of deep REM sleep. Oftentimes your brain is very creative. This is a lot of times when we're connected to a higher power early in the mornings. This is time that you could be used to think about other things on your business, on your life, and your relationships, how you can really improve and happy hustle a better future is by using these intimate times better off, where you're not on your devices. So the first 30 minutes, set a barrier where you do not touch your device. Now, if you do touch your device, I want you to have a consequence. A consequence could be as simple as, hey, if I look at my device, I owe 100 push-ups or 100 sit-ups or 100 pull-ups, whatever. Something painful, something that really is, going to be a consequence if you do not adhere to your barrier, okay? So that's the first barrier that I want you to set. The second barrier that I want you to set is 30 minutes before you go to bed. No tech, no devices, no streaming shows. Read a book, okay? Or just lay there and just kind of be, thinking about your own thoughts and processing the day, going through your wins, your gratitude, your prayer process, whatever you're doing. Meditate, 30 minutes before bed, no tech, set that barrier, okay? These two barriers alone can change the game for you. And I'm not perfect. I find myself looking at the phone, I'll slap myself. Come on, Cary, you're better than that. But it's really one of those things that can change the game. If you are giving yourself this time, this 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the nighttime to be completely tech-free, you will see your happiness skyrocket and you will see yourself become much more creative, all right? So I just wanted to kind of get into some of those really important barriers that I set. There's one other thing too that I highly recommend: 7-day dopamine detox. This alone will change the game. If you do a 7-day dopamine detox, that means no social media, no streaming shows, no YouTube, no podcasts, no, TV, none of that crap. All you do is focus on yourself and your business and your goals and your dreams and crushing it. That is a game changer. And I did that recently and I made more money than I could imagine in that week, over 6 figures in 1 week, just because I did a legit dopamine detox and was so focused and dialed in. Okay, so I really want you to think about how you can use your tech and not let it use you by setting these tech barriers. That's also why I do the Montana Mastermind Epic Camping Adventure, where I get guys outside into the wilderness and away from technology, where we do a complete digital detox for 5 days, 4 nights, and we have an amazing time, completely disconnected from technology, so we can reconnect to our true self and our true soul. It's a game changer. I'm telling you. Start to use your tech and not let it use you. Set those barriers, those 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the nighttime, no tech. Sundays, do your best to do a complete digital detox. And then when you're really feeling froggy, do a 7-day dopamine detox, where you do no social media, no streaming shows, no TV, podcasts, etc. Okay, those 4 different tech barriers can change the game for you, and they will increase your happiness and they will decrease your risk of burnout. I know this because I went through it. I burn out as an entrepreneur. So I'm telling you from experience, this is how you can manage yourself and your stress levels and your anxiety, and you can really start to manage your tech in the process, okay? And I know it seems a little silly, that technology could be playing such a pivotal role in our happiness, but it's true. Deep down, if you think about how often, or how you feel when you're on your phone or devices or watching too much TV, you know how you feel. I know how I feel, and it's not good. So this is why it's important to have those tech boundaries, those tech barriers, and really start to be disciplined about them, having consequences if you do not adhere to your barriers, okay? And then once you get that 30 minute in the nighttime, 30 minute in the morning barrier, then you can up it to 60 minutes at the nighttime. And then you really start to just get dialed in using your tech for a specific purpose and not letting it use you. So that's the message, short, sweet, to the point. If you guys want to actually go deeper into the book, The Happy Hustle, 10 Alignments to Avoid Burnout and Achieve Blissful Balance, actually chapter 3, alignment 3, is unplugged digitally. If you see that right here. If you're watching YouTube, what's up, YouTube? If you're on the podcast, just listening to the audio, go to Cary Jack, the Happy Hustler on YouTube to check out more of these videos, because I actually like to showcase what I'm talking about in physical form. And I'm a visual learner, so I like to watch the video versions of things. So there you have it. TheHappyHustleBook.com is where you can pick it up to dive deeper into these different barriers. But I wanted to just share these four, specifically the 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the nighttime, then having your Sundays off of tech, where you can just be outside, be connected with loved ones, doing fun things that you enjoy to do that don't have to do with tech. And then the fourth one, as I mentioned, is that 7-day dopamine detox. If you're really feeling froggy and you really want to go for it, that one can change the game. So share this with someone who maybe is on technology a little too much. And I'm telling you, the scientific literature backs up everything I'm saying, but we have to start using our tech and not letting us use you. So be diligent with your devices, my friends, and get out there and happy hustle your dream reality, full of that passion, that purpose, and that positive impact. I'm out, y'all. Peace and love.